back to the CEO Sound Off. I'm Vicky Francois, and this is Brian Luoma, and we are here to discuss the latest trending topics. How are you, Brian?
I'm good. You're just back from the Philippines. How was it? Tell us all about the Philippines.
The Philippines was amazing. The weather was great. The people, amazing. Being in the office was so good. And I missed it already because here in New York, it was freezing cold when I got back. And so I see that spring is peeking through, but to have come from a summer climate.
I almost feel like we got kind of screwed on the flowers on the trees because they came out, but then it was so cold that you didn't really get to enjoy them.
They were blooming beautifully.
They are blooming in the cold.
In the cold.
Yes.
In the cold. And also, we're in a new era.
We are.
Ism that is.
Here we are.
We're in a new studio.
We have to put the link in the bottom.
We'll drop the link down in the bottom.
Anyone in North Jersey that's looking for a studio. Beautiful.
Beautiful. And I'm liking the lighting and everything. And so let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
While I was
Anything
away,
happen while you're away? I don't know.
there's been a few things happening here in the U.S. There's some new opportunities, some new changes.
Lots of changes.
In terms of the Philippines, I'd say I'm looking at it in a positive in terms of
definitely
having an opportunity for us. So what are your thoughts on it?
Well, if you're talking about the tariffs specifically, I've, as you know, I got a lot of business owner friends, and so I can anecdotally tell you that a lot of them are looking for other options other than China or maybe even Vietnam. The Philippines got, I'm saying, only a 27% reciprocal tariff, and China right now is at least 145%, and depending on what industry you're in, it can be as much as 245%. So I had a lot of my business owner friends that know that I'm close with the Philippines business community through some organizations that I'm in, and they reached out to me asking for introductions to manufacturers in the Philippines. And so I was really happy to do that because I want to support the Filipinos as much as possible. And I think that there are a lot of industries in clothing and furniture, especially, and obviously some agricultural stuff where the Philippines really thrives. But I think that people, out of just kind of inertia or whatever, have been going to China for 20 some years or 40 years or whatever.
Right.
And so now they're being forced to look at other potential spots, and the Philippines is an obvious choice for all the reasons that we know.
Right.
But to have an opportunity to work with a manufacturer in the Philippines. In fact, the New York Times just did a recent article about how this whole atmosphere could really be a boon for the Philippines, in that the salaries are even less in the Philippines than they are in China at this point. And the close relationship with the U.S., defense reasons and other reasons, culturally, obviously, and the kind of the positive working relationship that Filipinos have with the U.S. There's visas, all that stuff is a lot easier with the U.S. And so I think that as some of my friends are looking at other opportunities for working with a supplier in Asia, working with the Philippines is becoming more and more optimistic. And so, I had a buddy that has, he's got a shipment of shoes coming over and other stuff, but he's looking at $1 million tax on those.
Wow.
And he was actually asking some of my other business owner friends, like, maybe he's just going to abandon the shipment because the tariff is going to be more than the value of the shoes. And he's like, do I just abandon the cargo that's coming in? Because, obviously he didn't have $1 million sitting around.
He can't recoup
right,
that.
Right. And so there's a lot happening as far as business owners scrambling, looking for new opportunities. And I was able to connect 3 or 4 of them already with manufacturers in the Philippines. And hopefully it works out. I mean, for my friends that are looking for other opportunities, hopefully it works out for them, and also hopefully it works out for the Philippines, because I think, obviously, we're pro helping the Philippines.
Right. And I think the best thing is for any business owner to know that there are options. You don't have to just abandon, but pivoting and looking at other countries like the Philippines that has had an alliance with the US for many years now is a good thing. And so when you can connect with organizations like ourselves, Tahche, that's already had operations out of the Philippines for over a decade, then it's just like not to have a negative spin on what's happening. Very unfortunate. However, looking to the options that you have available to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever there's chaos, there's opportunities.
Yes.
And how you react to that, I have another friend that was almost in depression for the first week, just like dealing with that. But then once they started tackling it and trying to find solutions and speaking with a manufacturer that I introduced them into the Philippines, they're now like really excited that maybe they found a path that gets them out of some of the IP concerns that they had in China. China stealing IP, and they had the manufacturer last year just raise their prices 30%. They had a problem with the quality had gone down. So there's all these concerns that came out of China post-COVID, and people just stuck with it because that's where you're at. But now this is forcing them to look elsewhere. And I think they're really finding really great opportunities in the Philippines. So I'm excited by that. I think there's going to be a lot of chaos in the short term, but I think in the long term, this really helps the Philippines.
I agree with you.
What else we got? Anything else happen?
While I was away, we had a summer party, which is amazing.
There's going to be videos on that.
Yes, there'll be videos.
I was not able to go to the Philippines this trip, unfortunately. So Vicky had to do a lot of the on the ground video shoots and day in the life stuff and all that. So it's exciting. You're going to get a new face for a lot of those videos. And
Bryan makes it look easy, but stepping into his shoes was a lot of work. I typically like to be very engaged in the event, but I was called to do videos which is great because you guys get some insight as to what's happening. Oftentimes when we're talking about some of the statutory benefits that come with working in the Philippines, they give really good Christmas parties and summer events that recognize the employees for all the hard work that they do throughout the year. And so you're going to get to see how Tahche does it. And our theme this year was Mamma Mia, which was great. Bryan's wearing the colors.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and so it was really nice.
I think we kind of went a little bit bigger this time in that they were there all day. I saw photos and videos of them, in the pool, on the beach, obviously the food then, and then going into the evening with the dancing and the karaoke, of course.
Yeah. Oh, karaoke was great.
Did you get on the mic?
I didn't, but I supported so many people as like on the sideline.
Backgrounds.
Yeah, really like
singing.
Really hyped up. If you throw in some footage, I was very excited.
Yeah, and so it was a full day event, and I think 250-ish employees there, and we flew them in from all over the country. And so I'm really proud of what we do for the employees and really trying to create a great environment. And so the audience will you'll get the chance to see some of those videos and some other stuff. And you filmed a commercial while you're out there.
I did. It was my first time filming a commercial, and it was great because I was talking about something that's very near and dear to my heart, which is our Tahche app. Mm-hmm. And so it was cool. I played a business owner.
You played a business
I played a business owner. Okay. And I was in a corporate meeting in a boardroom setting. Uh-huh. And then...
You're not going to tell them about the special guest star we had for the commercial?
Oh, yes. I had somebody who's been on this earth for many decades. Bryan's father, Mr. Everett, joined us, and he did an excellent job. He also played a CEO.
He was so tickled by that. He is an entrepreneur in a way. He ran his own insurance office in northern Minnesota. So I think I recognized early on how much he enjoyed the autonomy of running your own, being in charge of your own life and running your own office and everything. And so that was an influence early on as far as my entrepreneurial spirit. So I'm sure he relished the role of playing the CEO. I know that he sent me some text messages afterwards about how much fun he had. And then I posted some of the behind the scenes photos you had on LinkedIn. If you guys aren't connected with me on LinkedIn, you should definitely do that. I posted some behind the scenes video or photos from LinkedIn, and there's a lot of people that are very excited about
to see the end result.
Dad's commercial and your part in the commercial as well.
Very minor, but Mr. Everett was so game. We did it on his birthday.
Yes.
That's the fun fact. We shot on his birthday. So the fact that he said yes and was willing was also very exciting.
There was nothing more exciting for him than to be doing that, I'm sure.
And then we got a chance to celebrate him afterwards. But the fact that he was working on a birthday was great as well.
And then we had our beautiful CSR, corporate social responsibilities activity.
I know earlier I said that the app is really near and dear to my heart, but the CSR activities are really, Bryan, you know this, like it brings me so much joy to plan them, to actually execute on them. So just to say, team, please drop the name of the organization. I forgot the name, but we partner with an organization that's been in Cebu.
The Rise Above Foundation.
Yes, there you go. Rise Above Foundation. It's been established for a couple of decades now, and they take care of kids in that particular community. We were, the benefactors were 50 kids. However, more than 50 kids came. So even as we went into the compound, there were kids waiting outside. And I was like, hi, thinking they were going in with me.
And you're just inviting them in, and they're like, we don't know these kids.
So there was a gate, and at the bottom of the gate, there was like little slots. They laid their faces on the ground and were looking inside. And I was like, okay, this is only going to happen for 10 minutes. It then went on to 15 minutes, and then it went on to 30 minutes. And so I was like, forget all the rules. Bring them in. So we were able to make concessions. We went out, Rox and I, we went out and gave snacks and food. And then the rest of the management team came in, and we just fed them lunch, and we had them come join us for a bit, which was such a nice thing. But we were able to accommodate the additional kids, which is what it's about, right? Yeah. Like you want to really leave an impact, if not for a lifetime, but at least for a moment with somebody. And to have that exchange was well worth it for me. And one thing to note is that it's 90 degrees in Cebu. And so when these kids are laying on the ground looking in, it's summer there. So when they're laying on the ground watching for even 5 minutes, it's torturous for me to see because it's hot. So so happy we got to partner with Rise Foundation. And thank you so much for all that you do on a day-to-day basis. And thank you for allowing us to spend some time with your youth.
Yeah, we do these activities quarterly. Vicky does all the heavy lifting, all the heavy lifting of the planning and everything. So thank you for that. But I was so proud of the team in these activities because we always put the call out there. This is the activity and volunteers, and they got to come in on a Saturday. So it's on their own time. Obviously we're paying for all the food and stuff and everything, but the volunteers come on their own time, and we had 50 volunteers,
50
I think.
plus.
And if I'm right, we would have had more, but the organization said that's all we can
had
handle.
To cap it off. But yeah, the willingness, the heart of our employees, some of them, to just paint a picture, some of them got off at 6 a.m. and then came for an 8 a.m. call time. Right. So they had
done an entire overnight
shift. Did an overnight shift because they work U.S. hours, and then they still came and we did a full program. We ended at 4 p.m. So
they're up maybe 24 hours.
24 hours, but just to give back to their fellow Filipinos. So that was great.
And so when I talk to our clients about these activities that we're doing and how their staff can participate in this. And when I talk to some of the client staff that talk about their experiences at Tahche, the CSR activities and the ability to partake in them is always one of the highlights of the things that they talk about, which is amazing to me that you can have these activities that are, really volunteer activities that are better maybe than even the parties that we do and the the pizza parties and the other activities that we do. Those are always the most highly rated activities that we do. So thank you for putting those together, and thank you to the team and to our clients that are so generous in in allowing their staff to participate in these. I know that for some of them, they certainly stretch themselves in getting there, and the clients have always been very generous. I know we've had some clients in the past, partake in donating towards it and stuff like that. So the whole Tahche family, including the clients and the staff and the admin staff that we have, and everyone comes together.
Everybody comes together, and that's how life should be, coming together to help others in any capacity.
Yeah. So an eventful trip.
An eventful trip. And the question that always happens when I'm leaving is, when are you coming back? And so I told them I'm bringing you back.
I love going. I hope to go. I don't know, maybe June.
Yeah.
That's
our
we're
summer.
Busy all over the
their
place.
Continued summer.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Yeah. But I'll be there soon enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got to check on the house. The house is.
Yes. The house is always progressing nicely. If any of you are watching, you may be able to get a tour of the completion, because we've shown the progress before,
yes.
but it's progressed a lot more in 2025. Yeah. Last time we showed it was 23.
Was it that long ago?
I feel you didn't go there in 24 with cameras.
With cameras? No.
Yeah. So 2023. So there's
on
been
my
a lot.
LinkedIn though. They were on my LinkedIn.
But I like for the people to see what you are able to build in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some of our audience, they don't know.
Well, a lot of them. That's the purpose of this show, and what we try to do with our newsletters and everything is to kind of expose our audience in the U.S. to what it's really like in the Philippines. And I think that a lot of people, their experience with working with Filipinos is just on Upwork and the occasional, news thing when a typhoon runs through.
Right.
And, that's what they think. That's what they think it's like. And it's a lot more than that. So.
And just to know, I have to say, so I work with several teams when I'm in the Philippines. And this year I got to do a team building with my software dev team. Hopefully we'll have some photos for you. So we went to, can I say the hotel?
Yeah.
We went to a hotel in Cebu called Solea, and we got a chance to do an obstacle course in the water. And one thing I can say is that when I say that we each helped each other, we had Gen Z versus millennials, and the millennials, we thought we were going to win. The Gen Z's won.
Vicky's very competitive. If you didn't know this already. Very
competitive. But it was great to see teamwork, like to see people giving a knee so someone could be put on the thing. So that was really nice. As I'm thinking about jam-packed itinerary in the Philippines. And then also I got a chance to go with the marketing team to Tops, which Tops is a very scenic part of Cebu where you're able to see most of Cebu.
They just opened. It's got 360 views. It's I don't know if it's the tallest peak, but it's one of the tallest peaks overlooking the city. And I mean, every video I've seen of it just packed with people.
Packed, and it was beautiful. We went on a Sunday, so it was nice. It wasn't too many people, but the views were gorgeous. And so want to share that as we talk about not knowing all of what's able. And then I also got to go to the Temple of Leia, which was beautiful.
Yeah. And I actually have never been there. My wife's been there. She did a whole fashion shoot there one time. It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful in the pictures that I've seen, but that's one place I haven't been to yet. So
more places for you to see.
There's so much to see in Cebu, from the beaches to the mountaintops. It sounds like you did all that.
I tried to cover as much as possible. But yeah, all in all, great visit. This is part of our sound off, the opportunities in the Philippines, as well as the chance to actually spend time with the community, your teams, and the people.
Unfortunately, we didn't have any clients out there on this trip,
No.
right? I'm mistaken. But I think we have a client coming in the next few weeks. So I always encourage the clients to come out there. The last couple of parties we've had clients, but not this trip. So,
and the clients always enjoy themselves.
It's always red carpet treatment.
Red carpet treatment, indeed. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's it from us. We would love for you to engage with us in the comment section. So please subscribe to our channel if you want to hear more things about possibilities and opportunities in the Philippines. And we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye.